Spinne, 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 Spinne. Spinne piatti, spinne
Spinno,
piatti.
spinno, spinno piatto, spinno i piatti.
Yeah, that
It's more than
Hell yeah.
fucking. It's pulling up at your spot.
I'm not lazy, but I'm like really slow. So slow, mo.
我会成功.
What the fuck was that?
That caught you off guard, man, eh?
Like, oh, you guys are also into production? Oh, damn. But you guys are also into like Led Zeppelin? Oh, yeah, we are.
Not everyone has the ability to do that, but Stunt Pilots 100% does.
It just makes so much sense to have like a family and a business like this.
Welcome to Unshut, a place where if at any point you feel like you need to shut the up, don't. Okay,
Hey,
perfect. Is the camera on?
Oh yeah, I can see you. Hi,
Amazing.
Mo.
Hi,
Hi, Mo. How you doing?
I'm
what's up?
good. How are you guys doing?
Everything
All
fine
good.
over here.
Where are you at?
I am in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Oh, that's awesome. I have a friend in Austin. He's a drummer, just like Farina. And
Amazing.
yeah, I got to visit. What are like the usual activities that you got going on there?
There's so much to do from lakes to hiking to bars, food trucks, everything. There's like nothing you cannot have out here. It's great.
Really? So,
Really?
what sort of like music would you listen live out there?
Definitely like stunt pilots, which means you guys got to get your
Really?
ass out here for sure.
Hell yeah, dude. No, for real. No, I do kind of feel like we could fucking rock out in Austin.
In
I feel like
Austin.
Oh,
because we have a little
absolutely.
bit of a country flavor occasionally as well. So I feel like that could also kind of like, match the vibes.
Absolutely. Are we ready to get started or are we waiting on Monet? Is he going to be
No,
joining
it's
us?
I don't know if he's going, maybe he's gonna come like at the half of it, but for now we can like start.
Perfect. Well, just for voice recognition for those that are going to be listening and not watching, please introduce yourselves one at a time. I'll let you go first, Farina, so that they can recognize your voice, okay?
Perfect. Okay. I am Farina. Hi, ciao ragazzi. Sono Farina. I'm the drummer of the band and the visual designer of the band of Stunt Pilots.
And I'm Zoe. I'm the guitar player, and I sing. And yeah, what's up?
Amazing. Well, listen, I am so fucking excited to get you guys on the show. I discovered you guys recently and I tried to find every email I could to inquire you guys because I was fucked up, okay? I am so excited.
Really?
Fuck yeah, Mo. That's
So
exactly
nice.
what I hear. That's awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you for having us up.
Thank you so much, mate.
Yes, of course. I want to start with just kind of the basic questions to get started before I jump into some fun questions I have for you guys. But the first one is I'm being so curious about this. Who approached who to start this trio?
I guess that the missing link is missing today because, like, I feel like just like how it is musically, the bass is like the instrument that kind of like connects the rhythm and the harmony. And so that's kind of what happened with Stunt Pilots. We had Moonette, which was a childhood friend of mine, kind of meet Farina at a jam. Farina had just moved up to Milan from Naples, and he was just like attending jam sessions, trying to meet musicians and get his like foot in the door. And there he met Moonette, which always has like this crazy story about like walking into the club and just hearing this like really loud bashing drum sound and just being like, what the fuck, who the hell is playing drums? And so they just became great friends. Legend, I wasn't there, but legend has it that immediately it's just like a strike was born between them.
Yeah.
And I was able to see that with my own eyes when I came back to Italy from LA. We just started jamming out. We really wanted to get back in the studio because it was pandemic, and we had been isolated from actual musicians and rehearsal rooms. And so the day that we got into the room together, we kind of like pieced everything together. We're like, oh, you guys are also into production? Oh, damn, but you guys are also into like Led Zeppelin? Oh, yeah, we are. And Stunt Pilots kind of just made sense in that moment.
Such an amazing story. And Farina, I'm totally curious to ask you as well. When you found that spark, right? That I knew it moment, it just feels right. How easy was it for you to start that conversation about, hey, let's do this together? Because obviously the chemistry was there. And in my opinion, it shows in your music, in the writing, the sound, everything
Really.
sounds
Thank you,
so
man.
good. So, oh, absolutely. The chemistry is out of this fucking world. But I'm curious to ask you about that. When did you feel comfortable to approach that? Because the chemistry was good from the beginning.
Well, the thing is, as Zoe was telling you, I met Simo, I met Monet in a on a like during a jam session. So everything felt like right with him. Then years later, Zoe came in back from LA, and we were like in the studio, and we were like really having kind of the same. It just made sense, you know. We had the same path. We grew up listening to Led Zeppelin, and we were playing together. So the first thing was like jamming together. Then we were talking, and we were actually growing up together without being together. You know, like Monet was growing up with Black Sabbath. I was growing up with Led Zeppelin. Zoe was growing up with these guitarists and idols that he was with Metallica and stuff. And then we ended up on a computer, like producing our stuff, producing our own things, and everything made sense, you know, because we wanted to be like new, fresh, but in the same way, we wanted to be like rock, the rock we know, the rock we studied, the rock we felt every time, like you would close your eyes and like with the, you know, like those, I don't know, it just felt like we had the same life from the beginning, Mo.
It's such a
So it
good
was,
answer. It's such a good answer because I feel like the big message here is, and I know it sounds cliche to say, but it's one of those things where, like, when you know, it's just there. You already have the
yeah,
feeling. It's a feeling, right?
yeah, right. Yeah, right. Mo and I, we're just friends. Like we are friends, and we are like trying to work together and trying to balance the things. And it's just, you know, it just makes so much sense to have like a family and a business like this.
It's seriously one of the best stories ever because I like when things just organically happen. I think it speaks a lot of volumes to why a sound just sounds like it works. And it's funny because now that I'm hearing this story, I also think about this with how you guys are incorporating all types of different sounds from electronic to rock to some rapping, some singing. And I feel like that is literally the entire story with you guys. It's just that it just works because it's something organic. And so I absolutely love that. And I also wanted to ask you guys, post-pandemic,
Mhm.
at what point did you guys start to think that the pandemic was a blessing in disguise? Because I feel like so many people took the pandemic as this big hit, which yes, it sucked, but in my opinion, I feel like it really did set a lot of people apart on who were going to be entrepreneurial, who was going to be a creative being, and who was not going to be that. And I feel like you guys are the perfect example about that. When did that hit for you guys?
I think in my case, the pandemic kind of provided a moment to like slow down and actually like look at my life and like where it had ended up. You know, just like Farina was saying, we were literally at the same point in our lives when we met. We had spent, you know, several years being session musicians or being like producers for other people. We didn't really have a project of our own, and especially like the dream that we had ever since childhood of, you know, being in a band and making our own music had kind of
Yeah.
taken a second place as a back seat. And so with pandemic, we leaned back into this rock energy. And I don't know if it was because we had so much energy that was like pent up, that was like kind of like boiling, that we couldn't release. And so it just made sense to, you know, exert it out into the music that we then started making.
Yeah, I would say so. I would add like we were like session musicians, and we were like into other stuff. You know, like I told you, we were like producing stuff. So we were like, I was entering into the electronic producing thing. Then Lorenzo was doing more the trappy and like stuff on the computer, and instead Monet was doing like R&B and soul. So we were like producing, or we were like the rock was like our inner child, but we were serving the music with other genres and other kind of skills. And then the pandemic was like, you know when something is so compressed and then it's like you just gotta release it. Like with the pandemic, just it clicked something, and it was like, oh, we have to be the kids we were, guys. We have to be the kids, and everything released, like everything was like, okay, then we, what about we spend the pandemic together and we focus on this new thing we have.
I feel like that also explains the high energetic part of your guys' music because you said it so beautifully. It's something that just needed to come out of your guys' pores. You couldn't just
Yeah.
hold something so high energetic like this and keep it inside of you. And I love that message so much. I think anyone could really take it as advice because I feel like keeping all this shit in can never be healthy for anyone. Anything creative, it's got to come out of your pores, you know? So the fact that you guys
Yeah.
felt like this needed to come out as an explosion and you're doing it with such high energetic music, it just speaks for itself. And I love that so much.
I've been getting up too
I want to do something a
Thank you
little
very
bit
much.
with you guys to kind of get things going on the creative side a little bit. In honor of your time on the X Factor, this is going to be if you were on blank. Are you ready?
Okay,
Yeah.
let's give it a shot.
Perfect. I'll go with you first, Zoe. If you were on American Idol, just by yourself, completely solo, what would be your audition song?
I'd probably pull up with like a Young Thug song, and I would play it like Ed Sheeran. So I would have like a loop pedal, and I would just like start like looping with some crazy sounds, banging on like the floor, and like doing some crazy vocal like roller
Yeah.
coaster stuff.
Absolutely. What about you, Farina? What would be yours?
My one would be Good Times Bad Time from Led Zeppelin for sure. But I
Dude.
would be like changing it with like electronic sounds and like making it like with the triggers on the drums. I would like just like dun, dun, like I would distort the whole thing out of it.
Dude, hell yeah,
But
you're speaking
I
my
would
fucking
definitely
language.
yeah, Good
Yes,
Times
You
Bad
would
so
Time.
probably you
awesome.
would probably also have like a whole like visual show going on behind. Like it would probably make a whole like LED wall.
Exactly. I
So
would
like
probably make
live
a
show.
whole head wall of like visuals and stuff that I would love.
Sounds
But
fucking
yeah.
amazing. And I just want to say this real quick because it makes me so happy that you mentioned having rock like Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and all of these bands as an influence when you guys were little. I am a very flamboyant gay kid, okay? But I grew up
Okay.
with rock music. I mean, I was a choreographer, I was a cheerleader, but I was
Cool.
always listening to rock music with my family. And so a lot of
Oh,
people didn't
cool.
know that I knew about rock music, specifically punk rock, ska punk, all of those different types of rock music, right? And I feel like to me, it makes me so happy because I'm also a down bitch for hip hop. I love pop music. I
Yeah.
like everything,
Yeah.
but the core is right there with rock and roll music. And so I love that you
Exactly.
guys talk
Exactly.
about this. But the next one I have for you guys is if you were on The Voice, who would you want to turn a chair around for you? And I'll start with you with this one, Farina.
Oh, well, I don't know who are the judges now, but I would just, I don't know, name as one of my idols, but I would say probably Catriel Paco Amoroso. Those are like
Yeah,
Argentinian
that's good.
singers. If they would
Yeah.
be like the judges, I would probably choose them as judges, as mentors, because they really are bold in their decisions. They are really like they just cut everything out of even though you have a past, they can actually get a distance from it and renovate and invent other stuff by their own, and it's so nice. It's just so nice to learn these kind of things and be inspired by this kind of behavior.
Dude, such a good answer. What would yours be, Zo?
I do feel like they should advise us to pick the new The Voice that judges because Catrell Paco is a great judge, and I would put right next to them to turn around for me. I would have Tizo Touchdown, who is I think one of the most like forward thinking like just all around artists that we have today. He can like kind of like hop genre hop through whatever kind of like musical identity and like visual identity, and he's
Yeah.
really a songwriter at core, but has so like puts the song before everything, but then also considers like his brand as something that needs to make sense with the songs that he
Yeah.
chooses. So
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. And I feel like that just says so much about your guys' influences too, which is why I like to ask some off the wall questions like this. Mine would for sure be Laura Pausini. Do you guys know who that is?
Ooh. Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Of
good,
course.
good, good. I was nervous that you guys were going to be like, who is that? Like, I usually don't have a fangirl bone in my body. I'm not one to
Uh,
like scream or cry if I see like an artist or musician, but Lara Pausini for me is definitely one that I would lose my shit if she turned around on a chair or anything. I would have a heart attack, okay?
Laura
and
Pausini.
Yes, she's my number one favorite since I was a kid. I cry to her voice. I love her music.
Yeah.
I listen to every version, Spanish, Italian, French, anything you name it.
Uh,
I know every song.
okay, really.
Yes, she's just my favorite.
she would probably be a tough judge. Like I feel like knowing her a little bit, like she would yeah, she would be a tough judge. That would be fun.
Yeah, Laura Pausini, she's like historical here in Italy. Is like unbelievably like she made probably she made the history of Italian music from like the early 2000 and like the late 90s. She's so nice, Mo. How did you know her?
I have no idea how I discovered her music, but just from when I was a kid, as soon as I heard her voice, I started crying and I've just been in love ever since.
Yeah, she has a
But
beautiful voice.
So if
and
you guys ever run into her and see her, take a picture and send it to me, okay?
Va bene, mate. Assolutamente.
Yes, the next one I have for you guys is if you were on The Masked Singer, what would be your mask? Are you guys familiar with that show by any chance?
is it where you're like impersonating other celebrity singers?
It's not. It's where you keep your identity a secret until you're voted out. So you wear this big mask and it could be of like an animal. It's basically these like crazy characters, but no one knows who is singing behind the mask. It's such a fun show. So I've been curious to ask you this. What would be your animal or what would you design to be the masks that you would hide under to keep your identity a secret?
I'd probably choose a raccoon. I
Amazing.
don't know. The thing is, I grew up with this game called the Sly Cooper, and
Okay.
it's like a game for PlayStation. And he's a raccoon that is like also teeth, but he's also like really, he's just like really, I don't know, really fast in thinking and like how to act in situations. And in the same time, he's really rooted in his like family stories and in his like family memories. So I don't know. I feel like I would choose a raccoon because of that. Those kind of like that kind of like passionate side and in the same time like speed, fast thinking way of living of like I gotta build my future now. I gotta see where to go, you know.
Totally. What about yours, Zoe?
So I would probably go with a monkey face, because I kind of feel like that would justify me into like doing some crazy moves on the stage. Like I could like start like hanging around on stuff or just like swing around. I think that would be a fun side.
I couldn't have said it any better because even just your lyrics alone, the way that you can switch up from like singing to rapping super fucking fast, dude, that is like a monkey right there, okay?
It's like a monkey.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Amazing. The last one I have for you guys is if you were on Songland, who would you let rewrite any of your songs? And for those that are listening who don't know that show, it was a show with Ryan Tedder who someone would come in and pitch a song and then they would help rewrite it. And it was a collaboration of a song. So with you guys, I'll start with you, Farina. If you could pick a Stunt Pilot song, who would you let rewrite it?
Oh well, it'd be like such a fun experiment with like I would say with John Mayer. John Mayer would be like such a fun it would be so nice because he's like completely different from us, but still like he's like so deep and like so philosophical. Like so, it'd be interesting on how to like learn about his storytelling and stuff, but like how to rearrange like a Stunt Pilot song within.
So good. What about yours?
Like other than Ryan Tedder, because he's actually like a huge influence of ours, especially like in the construction of a song perspective. But I would really love to sit down with Ed Sheeran and like work on one of our ballads. You know, we have a song that's probably gonna come out by the end of the year, and it's just like this really soft ballad, something we
Yeah.
really haven't done before. And I would honestly love to sit down with Ed Sheeran and see how he kind of like goes through the song, and yeah, that'll be dope.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I absolutely love the switch up in genres, getting a softer side of Stunt Pilots, which now I'm really
exactly.
happy I asked this because you mentioned John Mayer, you said it cheering, but I feel like without this question, you wouldn't be talking about a softer side of you guys. I cannot wait
Right?
to hear this soft
Right.
side that you're talking about. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. With those questions more, they actually come up like really, really cool stuff.
I
Love those questions.
appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I couldn't segue any better because we're writing about song lyrics. First of all, I want to ask you guys about this one because this part really fucks me up. So I need to know who is responsible for it's more than fucking, it's pulling up at your spot. Who's responsible for that?
That's me.
That caught you off guard, man, eh?
That song is kind of like the inner conflict that ends up going on, into a relationship based on the fact that I maybe I'm not so consistent with how can I say with just my thoughts. Like it's not something that I do purposely, but Farina knows one day I'm like really feeling something, and then maybe I'm like have a different way of seeing it. That was just a song that kind of like glorified that and kind of like accepts that and says, "Fuck it, let me just like turn it into like a strong personality trait and make a song out of that feeling."
Dude, it's such a good song. And I also just love your delivery. It's also the way you say it because, again, your switch up from not just lyrically, but your tone tone when you're performing this song is out of this fucking world because I mean you do go from something so fucking crazy so fast to something a little bit more to me and I'm blushing saying this, but it's so sexy to me, you know? It's more than
Hell yeah.
fucking, it's pulling up at your spot. It's just one of those like
It's in the
holy
process.
shit moments in this song that fucks me up, okay? But
Yeah,
now that
yeah.
you're talking about these lyrics and, you know, being bold and sometimes thinking of how forward your lyrics are, is there a component to feeling so sexy and secure behind a mic for you that makes you write these bold and risky lyrics, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that it's many of those things I don't actually externalize in my day-to-day life. Like there are feelings that are kind of like hidden that I want to have a handover and a sort of like a control on. And so by making those songs, I can kind of like other than also like packaging what I see around me because to some extent, you know, the three of us go through and our friends as well, like we are in this society that kind of is very ADHD and gives you a lot of options and distractions and so I kind of want to put awareness on that by talking about it in a way that kind of rubs people like immediately in a weird way. Like, you know, you hear that and you're like, wait, what do you mean? Like, but then you know one of your friends or maybe you having done something like that in the past. And so you relate to that and you're like, damn, like it's also unpredictable. And like you kind of have to surrender to that, but still be like, fuck it, let's have fun in the process of doing it, you know?
Put a little bitch a little closer, then I'm coming up with some bullshit. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, did I say I'm independent? Now it's too late and I gotta call Uber. I did what I could, I'm on your sexy, on your business, you that I gotta say that this back and forth. It's more than fucking, it's putting up at your spot with an apology. Now the ice won't quick, get you really impressed, and I'm back on my feet. Wanna switch the weekend, wanna make this shit last, but I just wanna sleep.
I don't think you realize that you're speaking poetry because this is what music should be all about. Music should make you pause in the middle of a song and make you think, and it should be hitting. And listen, not everyone has the ability to do that, but Stunt Pilots 100% does. There is so much that you guys do in the middle of a song that makes you go, what the fuck was that? You know what I mean? And I
Absolutely.
love that so much because it doesn't make you want to stop the song. It makes you stop with the song going, if that makes sense. That
Oh
was
yeah.
so
Yeah.
captivating. So you couldn't have said that any better. And I'm curious to ask you, Farina, when it comes to your confidence and who you become on stage, how do you navigate that? How do you become this persona that's on the stage that maybe it's not who you are on a daily basis, if that makes sense?
I feel like I'm pretty energetic on the stage, but I turn energetic, but I don't know why, because I'm a pretty lazy person. Like in an everyday life. Like I'm not lazy, but I'm like really slow, so slow mo. Like it's just it just doesn't make sense. I don't know. It's just like clicking because the energy of like I don't know. I feel like oh, this is the moment where I gotta be energetic. Like that's like the excuse to be like fucking like beat up the drums, and that's it. That's it. Like it's just you gotta be that in that moment. You gotta be that version of Emanuele, and it's just like I don't know. It's just like comes with like some fun and just like thinking about having fun, like having releasing fun, because most of the time in the everyday life you're just doing breakfast, then try to understand how to like edit the TikToks, and then you gotta go call the guy who has to like, so everything is like really like you have to organize like the thoughts and stuff. I don't know, it's just like so fun
No, trust
behind the
me,
drum kit.
it makes so much sense. It's that switch, and it's that creative switch that's really hard to explain to people. And in my opinion, you either have it or you don't, and you guys fucking have it, okay? Take my word for it, okay?
Thank you, thank you,
I
thank you.
love it.
Also, John Bonham was like giving me always these kind of impressions, so I was like always picking up on that.
Amazing. And I feel like it's also honoring your childhood influences, right? I mean, you guys obviously were talking about these heavy hitters of rock and rollers when you guys were little. And here you are getting to go on stage and almost honor that impression. I mean, Black Sabbath, that's not some soft music you're listening to. You know what I mean? So I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I love it so much. I wanted to ask
Thank
you,
you.
Zoe. Yes, of course. I wanted to ask you, Zoe, when you were 14 years old, you had the zebra guitar. I saw a picture on Instagram. Where is that guitar today?
Oh, that guitar is hanging in my bedroom right now. I hung it up the other day. I was like, this is way too beautiful to stay tucked away under my bed. And
A
it's just
silver
like a
guitar.
testament to the glam phase that I went through when I was 14. It's not really like I don't think I would buy it today. It was just like something that I was like, I need to be 80s like that. I need to get my hair and like hairspray it to stick up. I need to wear my mother's leggings. I need to wear my bandana in the jeans back pocket. And that guitar was just like fitting the aesthetic so much. And nowadays, honestly, they don't make them anymore. And so it's something that I'm just thinking about keeping and hanging in my bedroom once again.
Beautiful. Absolutely. Farida, do you have anything from your childhood that's related to music that you still hold on to today?
I used to start like I was starting playing music with the Beatles, so I have this like drum kit of the Beatles, like small drum kit, a miniature drum kit. A friend of mine gave me when I was like 10. So, because I was already like playing drums when I was 10, and I was listening to Beatles a lot. And it was like just giving me this gift for my birthday. It's like a miniature a drum kit of the Beatles that he bought in London. So I was having this kind of like thing of the Beatles, London, and the international environment, the international music scene, the 60s, they go to the 70s, and it's just what I would probably take with me in a new house. That's probably the miniature set of Ringo Starr.
Amazing. Isn't it so funny how we hold on to little parts about us from when we're so little? And it's almost like a part of our lives that foreshadows where we're going to be when we're older, right? If that makes any
Yeah,
sense.
right.
Absolutely.
Exactly,
Like I
exactly.
couldn't see myself selling those guitars for that very reason. I feel like they carry like my history and my identity. And so I just need to make sure that, I can always look at that and be like, okay, that's where I come from, no matter where I end up going.
I love that so much. It's such a good reminder about where you came from, where your roots are. And you said it so perfectly. The hair, your mom's leggings, that's story fucking telling right there. I love it.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. I wanted to ask you, Farina, in my opinion, in some of the pictures that I've seen on Instagram, you have something very high fashion about you. I don't know if you're into high fashion, if you're into fashion at all, but this is just the impression I got, okay? And I absolutely love it. So I had to ask you this. What would be your runway walk song? If you were to be on a runway today and do some high fashion walking, what song would you be walking to?
Oh, what song?
Yes, any song, could
Spring.
be any song.
For now I'm into Spring Summer 26 by Charlie XCX. I
Amazing.
would say that that'd be perfect now. If like tomorrow I've got a runaway, then I would probably choose that.
Amazing. All right. And just so that everyone knows, we did not prep for these questions. So the fact that you had that song in the back of your head, amazing. So
Yeah.
iconic.
Thank you, man.
Yes, of course. So, what would be yours? Because there's obviously fashion is undeniably a part of your image for sure. I mean, in my opinion, you could pull off any look. What would be yours?
I would probably have like some like Prodigy, something very drum and bassy. Like I'd be looking a little bit high tech, a little bit like, metal influence with some Prodigy.
I could totally see it. Do you remember that one song from early in like the early 2000s, I think it was? But it was like that smack my bitch up and it had
Oh,
this like
hell yeah, hell
electric
yeah.
sound. There you go. That would be one that I could see you
Yeah,
doing it too.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, actually, yeah.
Yes, in regards to your guys' music and what you guys are getting ready to start putting out in the future, have you guys ever considered whether it's a song that you already have or a brand new song, but doing it in other languages? Like, would you guys ever be open to doing like a song fully in Spanish or in Italian or French or anything like that? Has that crossed your guys' mind as a band?
I mean, I think we would both agree that we definitely are. Like, we are always interested in other languages and in, experimenting with them. So, for example, Farina is super into Spanish. I'm super into Chinese.
Mo,
We occasionally,
you don't know, and he's not gonna tell you probably, but he speaks Chinese. Like he probably speaks
No
Chinese.
way.
Like
I
properly speaks Chinese.
a very big fan of that culture, and I was lucky enough to live there when I was younger, and so I kind of like was forced into absorbing and into like kind of like opening my eyes towards that world that we kind of get filtered out, in Europe through, maybe like it's not a direct experience of that And so yeah, I think that Stunt
But
Pilots in
definitely,
China would be
yeah,
incredible.
yeah,
Amazing. Zoe, you
definitely.
don't have
Like,
to be modest, okay? You don't have to be modest. You can up talk about yourself here on my show, okay? I love it. I also have to ask you real quick, Zoe, if there was one song you could pick to completely translate into Chinese that Stunt Pilots already has out, which one would it be?
I want to translate I'm a Stunt. I remember when we moved to Berlin, I remember we were trying to translate the song into German, and it was kind of like rickety. I had like a Google Translate version.
how would it
Actually,
be, though? How would it be in Chinese? I'm understand.
Yeah, give us a little something.
我会成功，我会
Singmola.
你是一个星, just off the cloud. I don't even
How,
know how to say cloud, for example, in Chinese. So,
how, how,
uh,
how, how is like Amistad the chorus? How is the Amistad?
我应该会说你会成功, like you see, like like you will kick ass, like you'll make it, type of shit.
Oh,
Like
okay, okay.
Are you fucking kidding me? That is so hot. That is
Right?
so awesome.
Cause I'm a stud, and you're addicted, baby, you're a star. Just off the clock, yeah, baby, come alive. We are the dropouts, looking for a ride, and I'm a stud, I'm a stud, I'm a star. Cause I'm a stud now, take it for a ride, and you're addicted, baby, you're in love. And I'm a dropout, take it for a ride, yeah.
Hell
Yeah,
yes. Farida, what about you? He mentioned you like Spanish music. If you could take one of your guys' song and translate it into Spanish, which one would it be?
well, it would probably be spinning plates, but I'd probably translate it in Neapolitan instead of Spanish. So
Okay.
Neapolitan
you
is
gotta
like a
do it.
dialect in the south of Italy, and I don't know. It's just like it's so fun to like mix with the English and like, or maybe just use it with like so energetic song, like such as like spinning, spinning, spinning plates. Yeah. So it'd be awesome to just be like spinne, 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 spinne. Spinne piatti. Yeah, that has some similarities to with Spanish. So I mean, it's just like a dialect that was like coming from Spanish speaking. How do you say it?
Like it had an
Spanish.
origin in Spanish.
Yeah, original. Yeah, Spanish origins. Yeah.
Hell yes. Well, listen, you called Zoe out, so I have to call you out. Can you give us a little something in Spanish? Doesn't have to be a song, but can you just say something in Spanish to us?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, something in Spanish, like ¿cómo estás? No sé cómo decirlo en español específicamente, pero estoy aprendiendo también el español.
Bueno, lo dijiste
Ven,
perfecto. Está perfecto.
vamos a ver si.
Me
Va-
encanta tu español. Lo
Really?
dices muy bien. Now I'm
Oh,
getting nervous. Now I'm
gracias,
fucking
gracias,
fluent.
gracias.
Now I
Tengo
understand
que.
more why you are into Lara Pausini, because she is such a huge star in
Yeah,
like
right?
Mexico, in Spain, in South America, right?
Are you from like Austin, Mo, or where is your origin?
I was actually born in Guatemala, but I have Italian and Spaniard blood, and so that's where I get my Lara Pausini love, I guess.
Yeah, I guess,
That's
I guess,
awesome.
yeah. So
Like
nice.
she is actually like an idol to us because like she achieved something that as a band we are trying to actively achieve right now in Italy. She was able to have a dialogue with the rest of the world as an Italian. And like often in Italy we don't believe that we can have a discussion with the rest of the world. But she was able to reinvent that idea and didn't copy America, didn't copy other cultures. She was just bringing high level Italian products everywhere.
I get goosebumps hearing you say that because it's exactly why I fucking wrote you guys. Because don't you guys feel like you guys are reinventing something in the rock and electronic scene? I have not come across a band that's like you guys. So that's why, I mean, my
No, that's
hands
like
just got so sweaty hearing you saying that because I'm hearing you talk about wanting this to become a goal of yours. And in my head, I'm thinking, what the fuck? You're already doing it, you know?
Oh,
Like,
thank you, Mo. And
thank you.
That's exactly what we are like. We dream about this. We dream about like having a dialogue of like going international and like still communicating this way and like innovating this way. And these are also kind of the roots in Italy where we see like Laura Pausini doing that, Eros Ramazzotti doing that. You know, it's like really something that we are like really fascinated about. So let's see.
It's going to
Yeah.
work out for you guys. I already know it. I'm going to manifest it for you guys. I already know it's just going to
Thank you.
continue to go up for sure. I wanted to ask you guys because I was stupidly obsessed with your cover of Ironic by Alanis Morissette. First of all, on the X Factor show, how did you guys land on that song? Was that something the producers told you to do, or did you guys choose that cover?
So we had like prepared some covers before going into the show, and we were like picking like Lizzo, we were picking like Anderson .Paak. We had this idea. We're like, okay, we're gonna just be like re-rocking modern songs that we're into, and then that completely didn't go with our judge's view. He was like, no, you guys gotta do like older songs. Like this ain't what I want you guys to do. And so we ended up just having to wing every single song week by week, the arrangement, whatever. It was all stuff that, we had no idea was gonna get assigned to us. So yeah, that song was just our own
Yeah, yeah.
spot we arranged.
Was a judge choice. I of course can remember my father used to listen to Alanis Morissette, but that was a choice of our judges, Darjan.
I feel like it almost taught you guys as a band to think quick on your toes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, Mo. It was like 4 days you had to like produce everything and like arrange it, sing it, playing it live. One time you had one time on television and that's it. And so it was such of a like a good challenge to have.
Well,
So
you guys could
so
have fooled me. I had no idea that that's a short period of time to do it because I listened to it on Spotify and I was like, this is so fucking good. We got to get
really.
Alanis Morissette to sing this on stage with them. It's so good.
Oh man, yeah, yeah, dude.
It'd be awesome
Thank you,
on
Mo. Thank you.
on an
Yes.
American version, yeah, on an English version of X Factor. It'd be awesome.
It's like Friday, like a wedding day, free ride. When you already paid the good advice that you just didn't take, and who would have thought figures?
Of course. Well, listen, talking about something you guys do have control over, I did hear from your guys' management that you guys are working on new material. You guys have more stuff that you're going to be putting out for the rest of the year. What can you guys tell us about this?
The past year has been focused on our live show and on our album and music that we have been producing and finishing up. And so, those two worlds are gonna, keep colliding in different ways. We, have so many songs that we now just gotta figure out what order to, put them out in, because it's always a story that gets elaborated. And so what we kind of want to do is, with this wake up format that we have, is give a chance to live the songs that we release. And so we put the song out on digital streaming services. People maybe don't really know what the world is, where it sits. And then when they come to the show, they actually get to experience the song and to see why it makes sense.
For those one who are listening, like Wake Up is one of our like residencies, like once a month in Milano now, but hopefully it's gonna like spread all over Europe. We make DJ and rock collide together. So we also play those songs kind of like rearranged in a DJ set while we play it. So it's kind of a rave rock gathering.
It's genius, honestly. It's so fucking genius.
Oh, really? Mo? Thank you.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you exactly why it's genius, in my opinion, because I feel like this is really taking a different approach. And I feel like that is what eventually starts to set some bands apart. I mean, you don't see that here in the US. Not that I'm aware of. Maybe I'm living in a fucking cave. I don't know. But I don't see rock
Well,
bands that are going out actively. I know that Monet, he's a DJ, so so it kind of works together. But you don't see that coexisting with rock bands. They're not doing performances like this. So the fact that you guys are bringing a different element to how you guys are showcasing yourselves to the world in person outside of streaming services, that's what makes it genius. Because at the end of the day, it's not about going with the current and what every other band is doing. It's about swimming against it. That's what's going to give you longevity. That's what's
Yeah,
going to
right,
set you
Mo?
apart. Absolutely.
That's what's fun for us, like challenging the vision of like the expectations. It's like, oh, I'm going to a rock. Do you wanna come and see this rock band? And then they come, and it's actually like you can't really see the rock. You know, it's like electronic colliding with the rock. You can just see the drums being like smashed, but it's like you are dancing on it. So you are dancing on it like sweating on it. So it's yeah, Mo, that's so nice. You welcome it in this way.
Absolutely. So, what is something that you are looking forward to the end of the year? You guys have these consistent shows coming up, but what is something that you're looking forward to for the rest of the year?
You know, now Farina is in London. I am gonna, go to Asia a little bit, possibly head out to America, and it's just kind of bringing our vision outside of Italy actively, going and meeting people ourselves and having conversations. Genuinely like being interested in each other's perspectives and views on what we're doing, and seeing if we can find common grounds through music with other cultures as, Italians, proud Italians that want to, share of everything that we have.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
love the fact that you're open to taking these influences and putting them together. It makes me so happy. And hopefully we have the opportunity to meet in person. I know I'll be in London at the end of the year. I'll also be in Munich.
Really?
Yeah, so many different places in Europe this year. So if we're ever in the same spot, I will reach out to you guys and hopefully I can be your guys' little
Perfect.
groupie for the day, okay?
Absolutely. No,
Let's do it, bro.
I'll say to our manager to give you the contacts so that we can then we text, and you can like let us know if you're in Europe so we can catch up. Absolutely, no, that'd be
Absolutely.
awesome.
Yes, that would be so awesome. You guys are such good vibes. I love everything you're doing. I'm here to support it. Lastly, please tell
Yeah.
everyone where they can find you and where they can stalk your lives a little bit.
Well, they can find us on Spotify as Stunt Pilots, and they can find us on TikTok and Instagram as Stunt Pilots Band. And if you want to stalk me and you are into like fashion design stuff, then it's Farina with the H.
Hell
And if you are
yes.
in like eclectic reels, there is Zo over there. There is like Zo Vivaldi on Instagram. In DJ sets, in like digital DJ sets, there is Monet's
And if you want to
Yes,
see his chest,
account.
because he's always shirtless.
Exactly.
he's always
Exactly,
yes,
Mo.
like C_Munet.
Yes, thank you guys so much for your time. Time's the most valuable thing we have. So I appreciate you being able to do this from different parts of the world with me. It's been such an honor getting to know you guys. We'll definitely be in touch, okay?
Va bene. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias,
Yes.
Mo.
Take
Thank you
care,
so
you
much.
guys. Bye-bye. We'll be in
Ciao,
touch.
ciao, ciao, ciao.
Hey, if you've made it this far, don't forget to follow the socials on the screen or in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you next week.